this is suspicious to me because you would never, as a merchant or as a business person, you would never tell somebody to just file a chargeback because you get charged, you get a fee for that. So this Super Sega thing has been a wild ride with Alejandro and whatnot, them putting out this with compromise, without compromise, your $3-5 thing, and then everybody was just charged the full amount and people were freaking out. And it just seemed kind of fishy from the get-go. And they were getting a little upset with people, being skeptical. It was just strange. I mean, you gotta be skeptical with these types of things. Claiming that they have an FPGA system that plays every Sega console ever, from, SG-1000 Master System all the way up to Dreamcast. It just seemed a little unbelievable. And there was a lot of little things that people were pointing out in the videos that they were presenting. And then last month, like after everybody got charged and whatnot, last month in November, they put out an email claiming that Sega had contacted them, essentially, I believe, to cease operations, that they were using the Sega name, which everybody was calling them out for from the get-go. Like, how the hell are you using Sega in their, your name? Just because, like, oh, we've used the Super Sega name in like websites and whatnot for a long time, like fan sites and stuff. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, Sega's not going to care. Well, you're putting out a product to sell to people. Yeah, Sega's going to care at that point. Sega's not as friendly. I've said this in the previous video that I did about this, that Sega's not as fan-friendly as some people seem to think they are. They are with certain things, but not with everything. And this is obviously, like, most companies are not just going to let you use a variation of their name to market a product that utilizes like their properties, right? Like, it's not a thing with, like, plenty of companies have sold things that play Sega Genesis games and whatnot, but they don't put it out there and call it like a Sega console, a Mega SG, the Hyperkin, whatever the heck they called that thing. Every company's had something like that, right? But these guys they're freaking nuts, dude. But yeah, they claimed Sega was going after them and whatnot. And it was kind of weird. Like, okay, are they just going to dip out on this, take everybody's money? And they put out this new email saying that they changed the name to SuperSPGA, but Sega still won't allow us, right? And they put these two like images here that are in Spanish. Now, I'm not fully fluent in, Spanish, reading it or speaking it or anything, barely, like maybe like that much. So I did have this translated. Let's pull that up. It says, in this case, a similar use is made of another trademark as a distinctive element of the retro console, as well as repeated mention of Sega in the commercial offer and advertising, which exceeds the regulatory purpose pursued by Article 37 of the trademark law and instead falls within the scope of improper use of another's trademark because it's constituted and undue exploitation of another's reputation. Furthermore, the change of the term FPGA, which is commonly used for this type of product, to SPGA is deliberately intended to be similar to Sega and is not in accordance with fair practices in the sector. The justification you give for this newly coined acronym is that it would mean precisely Sega Programmable Gate Array. So yeah, you're still throwing Sega in there. We consider this use to infringe the Sega brand and to infringe the use of terms identical or similar to Sega. So these idiots, like, I didn't even read this after I had it translated. I just kind of figured that the SPGA, the S had to mean Sega. Sega Programmable Gate Array. These guys are idiots, man. Like, you wanted to, if you really legit wanted to continue this project, why incorporate the Sega name in anything? The justification you give for this newly coined acronym is Sega Programmable Gate Array. If you wanted to just call it SPGA, then you just never say what the S stands for. You just never tell anybody. You don't advertise it. You don't say it. You just let people assume, right? Furthermore, the domain SuperSEGA remains active, and it's reported that the current page is SuperSPGA, which is practically identical. Furthermore, the text of the website indicates SuperSPGA responds to SuperSEGA, so we confirm the repetition of the infringement. These actions are absolutely insufficient to resolve the conflict. The conclusion that we can obtain from the use of Sega brand or similar brands, SuperSEGA, SPGA, Super SPGA, exceeds the informative purpose that would be permitted by Article 31.1.c of the trademark law, and that reveals an improper use of, I think this continues here, trademark law, and reveals an undue use of the repetition of trademark, which is renowned and identifies the competitor's product. It is therefore one of the behaviors which, according to the aforementioned community, whatever that says, constitutes a contravention of fair practices in industrial commercial matters. This prevents the limit provided for Article 37 of the LM from operating and must lead to an assessment of the infringement of the trademark and enables the initiation of legal actions under these provisions. For all above reasons, and for the last time, we are sending this Borofax to you so that within a period of no more than 7 business days, you agree to comply with the following points. Commit in writing to respect the property rights of my representative, recognize the rights of my representative over Sega's trademark, immediately cease sales of SuperSEGA, Super SPGA, SPGA Retro Console. And that's it. It says page 45, but I think the original document said page 4 out of 5. So there's only like 5 pages that they received, and they're only sharing 2 pages with us, right? So the rest of this email just says, Dear Media User Customer, she may notice Sega claimed by the end of November for us to change the name other than Sega or Super Sega. They also wanted us to destroy all the units to be manufactured. I don't know where that was claimed. I didn't see them like share anything that necessarily said that. Like, why would they like tell them, oh, like destroy it? Like, I don't know. These documents, it was more so like immediately cease the sale of the console. It seems like it ceased the sale of these consoles that were using those names, right? Now, if they didn't use those names, would they have to cease the sale of those? If you called it something else, that seems like maybe it would be in line with being legal, maybe, because you're not using Sega's name or you're not using a variation that infringed upon the Sega name. So I don't see where it says they have to destroy anything. It just seems like don't sell anything that is using the Sega branding, the Sega name, or a variation that is way too similar to the Sega name, right? Or using an acronym for Sega. That's what it seems like, right? So they say today, December 23rd, we received a new reply, which we just went over a couple pages of. As you can see above, they're not accepting SPGA, and they still want us to destroy the upcoming devices. I don't see where it says that, but okay, maybe in the other pages somewhere. This is hard, very difficult for us. In addition, our advocate is asking for a 5-digit figure to continue with the legal actions against Sega. We cannot afford that. So like their legal advisor, attorney maybe. In this newsletter, we inform you the following. Sega does not want for us to produce neither the Super Sega, Super SPGA, or whatever the device that runs anything related to Sega. Is that what it says in the rest of the document they're not sharing with us? Like, I'm just making assumptions from what I've read, and it just says these variations of the Sega name. I don't know. It doesn't seem like if they actually have a legit product, like they can, I don't know, maybe just since they already done too much damage fucking with Sega, they have to be done with it all. To be clear, we did not scam anyone. Main guy on Super Sega is selling his Lamborghini. I saw this and was like, what the heck, dude? Check this out. So this dude, like, he couldn't even park this thing in that video. I don't know if you saw that on their channel. He couldn't even park this thing. He like got out and he didn't even have it in park. He had it like neutral or reverse or something. I'm sorry. It was just so stupid. It was like, were you renting it? Like, is this his, or is this like this freaking dealership on here? Is this actually his posting? Did he rent this from the, I don't know, dude. I don't know, but it says he's selling it. It says he's selling it. Oh my God. It's got 76,000 kilometers on it. Holy crap, dude. Okay. I mean, well, that's not a ton. That's not a ton. Yeah, it's not crazy. Okay. I mean, it's a 2005 seller prof. I don't know what that means. Professional? I don't know, dude. Maybe he is selling it. Like, wouldn't it say like the seller like individual or independent. I don't know what that means right here. This was in Spanish. It's like translated. So I don't know. I don't know what the hell it means, but like you can contact him, I guess, if you want to buy it. But yeah, he's selling his Lamborghini to cover damages, but their refunds are being processed. If you're a customer and you did not claim a refund or you did not receive one, please request a chargeback for the amount. We don't want to keep your money. If you claim a chargeback, they get charged extra. Like I've dealt with that kind of stuff before. You get like, they're going to get charged extra if the chargeback goes through. You know what I mean? And since they didn't ship anything, the chargeback will most likely go through. So like their processor or whatever, they're gonna be losing extra money from this. The 375 euro in shipping. That like why not just process the refund? Why tell them to request a chargeback unless they? This is suspicious to me because you would never, as a merchant or as a business person, you would never tell somebody to just file a chargeback because you get charged, you get a fee for that. That makes me think that they ditched the processor. They took the money, whatever money was left, they took it and they ditched, like the accounts and everything are gone. Like they just ditched it. And if there are chargebacks filed against it, they're not worried about it. Like that's my thought. Is why would you tell anybody to file a chargeback unless they don't understand what that means? You don't want to keep your money. To be clear, we did not scam anyone. So yeah, send your support to email at supersega.com, info at super. Okay, soon we'll release a video. Thank you for your unconditional support. And to let you know what our plans will be, stay tuned. Early January to be continued. We'll be back. It's not who you are. It's who you know. Here's Alejandro. Okay, the star of the show. I don't know, man. See, this is what I'm talking about. The most powerful SPGA, asterisk, SPGA stands for Sega. Like, you're an idiot. Why'd you do that? We changed the name to SPGA. They're freaking dumb, dude. Like, why would you do that, man? This makes no sense. Makes no sense that they changed the name and then they just clearly put on this new website that SPGA stands for Sega trademark. Like you don't do that, you dum-dums. But there you go. Let me know what you guys think. This is ridiculous, dude. I'm like, my brain is hurting the more and more I think and look at this thing. Idiots. Gosh. Bye.